All right, let's get right into it. The buzz around artificial intelligence, I mean, it's everywhere, right? But here's the real question. Beyond all the hype, who's actually using it on the job? Well, we're going to cut right through that noise. We've got some fresh data that shows what's really happening in the American workplace. Okay, check this out. 23%. That's the number. That's how many US workers are now using AI every single week. And to give you some context here, that number has nearly doubled in just 1 year. This isn't some slow trickle, folks. This is a full-on surge. And, it's not just about who's using it every week. The whole picture is even bigger. Just look at this timeline. Adoption is just exploding. We're talking nearly half of all employees are expected to be using AI at least a few times a year by late 2025. So that adoption curve, it's not just going up, it's practically going vertical. So that massive growth, I mean, that's the big headline, right? But it's also hiding a much more complicated story. And it makes you wonder, is this AI boom really lifting all boats? Is it reaching everyone equally? Well, the data is pretty clear on that. And the answer is a big no. And that brings us to the heart of what this data is really showing us, what we're calling the Great AI Divide. See, we're not just seeing one big happy wave of AI adoption. Nope. What's actually happening is a tale of two workplaces, and they're moving at completely different speeds. So let's break that down. What are these two speeds? Well, think of it like this. You've got the fast lane. This is where you find the knowledge jobs, right? Industries like tech, finance, professional services, they're flying. And then you've got the slow lane. This includes huge parts of our economy, healthcare, manufacturing, and retail. And this right here shows you just how massive that gap really is. I mean, look at the tech industry. A full 50%, that's 1 in every 2 workers, is using AI every single week. Now compare that to retail. That number just plummets down to 18%, less than 1 in 5. The difference is, it's just staggering, a really stark contrast. And this divide gets even clearer when we look at the whole picture. So yeah, tech is way out in front at 50% weekly use. Finance is next at a pretty solid 33%. But after that, whoa, there's a huge drop-off. You've got healthcare, manufacturing, and retail all hovering around 20% or even lower. The gap between that fast lane and the slow lane is just undeniable. Okay, so we know which industries are in the fast lane, but who are the people behind the wheel? Who's really leading this charge? Let's zoom in a bit and meet the typical AI power user. The data paints a super clear picture here. The person jumping on AI first, they probably work in one of those knowledge jobs we talked about. And here's another key thing, seniority. Yeah, the higher up the ladder you are at a company, the more likely it is you're already using AI. And what's their tool of choice? Overwhelmingly, it's chatbots. So how are people actually getting started with this stuff? Well, get this. For over 60% of people who've adopted AI, chatbots are their front door. It's that one tool that's really acting as the gateway, driving this first huge wave of AI use at work. So a rapid technological shift that's not being spread around evenly? Does that sound familiar at all? To really get what's happening here, we need to pull back, zoom out, and put this moment into a little historical context. There's a quote from the source material that just nails this. It says, more than a quarter century ago, the introduction of Google search kickstarted internet adoption at work. I mean, think about that. Back in the late 90s, this simple, powerful tool, Google, showed up. And it didn't just help people look things up, it totally changed how we work and blew the doors open for the internet in the office. And you can see the pattern, right? It feels really familiar. Step 1, 1998, Google search appears. Step 2, internet use at work just explodes. Now fast forward. Step 3, 2022, ChatGPT arrives. Another incredibly powerful and easy-to-use tool. So the big question is, are we just watching history repeat itself? Is AI going to follow that same exact path? So let's wrap this all up. AI adoption, it's happening, and it's happening way faster than a lot of people thought. But, and this is a huge but, it's not happening for everyone at the same time. It's creating this deep and growing divide. This isn't some sci-fi prediction about the future. The data shows the AI divide is here, right now. So the real question we're left with isn't if AI is going to change work, it's how this divide is going to define the future of work for all of us.